Hello and welcome to another card in my Christmas series 2018. Today's card's going to be a, kind of traditional Christmas wreath card. I'm starting off with an A4 piece of card folded in half, which works out to be just a little bit over 5 3/4 inches or 14.5 centimetres, and I've trimmed it the other way to be a square, and then I've cut 2 square stitch rectangles, one in gold foil and one in the same white card, and they'll be layered on top of each other. I'll have all the measurements on my blog, which got the link to in the description below the video if you'd like to check out the exact sizes. I'm using this Impressions Obsession wreath die. I've cut out 2 of the main wreath part in brown card, and I'm going to just lay them on top of each other, and I decided because they were quite round I might just be able to cut a window out of my very front top white panel and have the sentiment slightly recessed, and I think you won't see it behind the brown wreath part, so that's what I'm going to do with this circle die. Any circle die will do. You don't have to do this, of course, I just thought it would be a nice feature. I don't have many sentiments that's small enough to fit in the circle, but this set that I used last year with making some cards has got the small sentiment saying Christmas wishes, so I'll do that. I'll do it with Versamark sticky ink and then gold embossing powder, and that'll go in behind on a spare piece of card. And then when I've got the sentiment stamped, I can trim down the piece of spare card to fit behind the circle aperture that I've created. I can then go ahead and stick down the foil panel down onto my card base and stick the sentiment down on top of that where it needs to go. I'll then put some craft foam behind my white panel with the aperture cut out of it. I'll stick all those down. I won't bore you with doing the double-sided tape part. You've seen me do that lots of times before. And then I can stick the main part of the wreath down the brown part. I have a new glue to try out. It's the new Nuvo, they call it Deluxe adhesive. It has a really nice fine nozzle on it. It's quite nice thick glue so it doesn't drip everywhere, and it says that it dries clear, so that'll be good. I'll just pop a large acrylic block that I've got on top just for a few minutes just to weight it down while the glue's setting. In the die set it has two types of leaves, one holly and one sort of like a pine bough sprig, and also some holly berries. I'm just cut out some of the holly leaves and the other sprigs out of two different tones of green card. I've done about 20 of each of them. I'm not sure how many I'm going to need, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and just with my thumbnail bend each of the holly leaves across my fingernail just to give a little bit of dimension. It just stops them looking quite so flat. I have a red satin bow here which I'm going to put just slightly off centre, and then I'm going to just start laying the sprigs on the wreath about halfway up. So I'm not going to do the whole wreath. You can if you want to, but I'm just going to do the bottom half of the wreath. So I start laying two sprigs out at the top of where I want to go on both sides, and then I'll work my way down a couple more sprigs and then a couple of holly leaves and then more sprigs until I get to the bottom, and then I'll go back after that and put a couple more of the holly leaves on top of the sprigs, just so that there's some behind and some on top. I am laying them quite close to each other, on top of each other, just so that I get some fullness with the greenery part of the wreath. If you do them too spaced out, it just doesn't look right, so just be quite generous with how many you put on, just to give a nice full look. To attach to the bow, I'm going to use a glue dot, quite a big glue dot, to stick that down. And then the very last little finish I'm going to do is I've got some liquid pearls in the rouge colour, and I'm going to make little berries with that instead of cutting out some with the dies. So I've got some sticker or some label backing sticky paper that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to put little dots of the liquid pearls just like I am here. and then I quite conveniently wipe my finger through it just in a few seconds. And I left the original ones to dry, and then I'm just going to pop them off with a craft knife, pick them up with my jewel picker and little dobs of glue, put them on around about where the holly leaves are on the wreath, and that's just the last finishing touch. I'll leave you looking at some photographs, some close-ups of the card. At the end of the video I will leave another couple of Christmas cards that you might be interested in watching. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll be back with another Christmas card in the next week or so. Please subscribe if you haven't already, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.